our basic proclamation is that God saves us by grace. That is at the heart of what we're about. And then our life together as a community, as a faith community, is our response to that grace. So that we seek to be God's loving and healing hands in this Catonsville community and even in the wider world.
We were looking for a church that had a good balance, had both a good representation. You had young people, but you also had older people. A church that was vibrant, a church that, seemed like it was growing, and a church that was friendly, that wasn't just so into just liturgy that, you kind of lost the whole sense of, the spirit of the people.
Like how active Salem is and how many different programs and councils and activities we have here for everyone. We have things for children and teenagers, young adults, and the older part of the congregation. There's just something for everyone. There's a lot of community outreach, and my favorite part is obviously the music program. I think I'm most involved in it, and it's especially the choir has been like a family to me.
Let us now witness their promises to each other and surround them with our prayers, giving thanks to God for the gift of marriage.
It's a very diverse congregation, and one of the things I like about having a diverse congregation is everybody's interests are they're not mutual. They're just like everyone's interests are different, but they overlap with everyone. So you're connected with someone who's connected with another person, like through their interests. So if I'm interested in something, I can talk with someone about that subject, and then if I'm interested in something else, I can talk to someone else about that subject. So I can just talk to anyone about any subject I want, because it's very diverse and everybody's pretty much interested in various things.
And it's not a big smile, right? Not a sign for a touchdown? No. It's for a goal. You're exactly right. That's really for, what about you and I? How do we get through this life? Who do we look for help? Who are you looking for help? Who do we call out to for help? Not a swindle.
We came into Salem and just, wow, from the get-go, when we walked in the door, all these people started coming up immediately and just so welcoming and just very, very friendly. The dynamic was incredible. You saw young, old, little kids, just this robust kind of congregation.
I'll take pancakes and sausages.
How many pancakes?
3, please, if you got them.
Oh, we got them. We got plenty.
Yeah. I met Gary at the beginning. It's Tim Krause.
Okay. So you can generalize. And there was more like this, maybe not enough, but there were more Germans.
Traditions reflect different visions of reality.
This place is full of life in all forms. Everybody that I've met is, certainly everybody that I've met is extremely accepting and extremely interesting in a good way.
When I first came to Salem, I was a little intimidated because it's a larger church than what I played for previously, and so much music, and I thought, oh, how am I ever going to keep up? But I'll tell you, the people, you ask for a flute, you have a flute. You ask for a trumpet, you have a trumpet. You ask, and it's usually done in some way. The willingness here and the friendliness and the ability to get things done is remarkable. And it's been a joy to work here and worship with the people at Salem.
And with the moon above is wonderful, wonderful in every way, so they say.
One of the things that I think causes Salem to be so appealing to folks is that it really does make a statement in our community. Our building is open almost all the time for a number of different groups, but at the same time we have these wonderful worship services and wonderful committees that really work on the mission of God. We do a lot of outreach to causes around the world. We're highly involved with Lutheran World Relief and the Lutheran Immigration and Refugee Service. Some of our members actually even work there, so that's a great opportunity. And I think the other thing that encourages people to be here is we really hold true to the Lutheran doctrine, and we welcome a variety of people from different walks of life into our midst and encourage them to take part wherever in any way that they would want to with our congregational life.
Our God is a God that brings life from death, a God that remembers the poor and the brokenhearted, a God whose love cannot be constrained by doctrine or dogma, a God who is defined by forgiveness and second chances.
Even though we have the wonderful, beautiful, comforting trappings of the traditional religious service, we have our beautiful altar, we have a sung liturgy, we have things that we do in each church service that are familiar, which I find very comforting and enjoyable, and I think the kids over time learn to do too. I think that's true of Sunday school. They get all that stuff, but it's all in a really, really positive framework, even though, we follow a lot of perhaps theologically mainstream traditional stuff. I think one thing that's unique and wonderful about Salem is that I find that it's always focusing on the positive message of God in our lives and what Jesus taught us. And, I never hear a sermon and feel that I'm being beaten over the head, like you're doing something bad and you're going to go burn. That never happens at Salem. It's always a message of God is here, God is wonderful, God can do great things in your lives, you can do great things in the world as a result of that, of letting God in. It's such a powerful, uplifting, and empowering message for the adults, and I think that's how the Sunday school works too.
Is it in November? Nice, yes.
I had a Spider-Man cake.
You had a Spider-Man cake. Nice, yes.
I won my soccer tournament and...
Come and rejoice. Come and rejoice. Give thanks to our Lord and Savior Jesus. Come and rejoice. Come and rejoice. Give thanks to our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ.
Overall, our experience here at Salem is one of family. Just a huge, loving environment. Always acceptance, no matter where you are in your life, no matter where you've come from or where you're headed. Regardless of what your political views are, regardless of what
your preferences in life are, you're welcome here, and you're always welcome at the Lord's table, which I think is the most just unifying part of us. It's a wonderful feeling to have a home that treats you that way, knowing that you can fall, but you'll always be welcomed back, no matter what. And so I think that's the most charming part of our congregation overall, is just the sense of welcoming and love and acceptance.
I've seen people with real stress, real emotional issues, stuff that that none of us would want to have to deal with, but we all have to deal with at some time. Receive a welcome and receive real genuine care from their whole family of faith. So, whatever the issue is, whether it's, a trauma, whether it's a loss, whether it's just kind of looking for meaning and, is there more to this life than what I see? We've seen windows open up from the kingdom of heaven that sort of shed a little bit of light on this world, and I've seen it through a Christian congregation, and Salem can be that congregation for you.
If you know something about American Christian practice, we are traditional Lutheran worship, so that you'll see our pastors in vestments, we have Holy Communion at every service, we sing more traditional hymns you won't see on Sunday morning, electric guitars or bongos or stuff. We do that Wednesday evening real well, but on Sunday morning it's what we call liturgical. The people are diverse. We are from all over the place. For instance, on Pentecost, we read the lesson out of the Bible in our native languages, and we actually have about a dozen different native speakers. So folks that are coming from Iceland and Africa and all over the place, and all over the states too. We're not born and bred Lutherans. We come from all different Christian traditions, and it's one of our strengths. Our diversity is really a wonderful gift from God.
Look at this. I mean, this is stuff that we do. These quilts are made, for the people in the Sudan and even in the Caribbean and Haiti and so forth. Not just because we want to do quilts, it's because it's making a difference in people's lives.
I think one of our characteristics is we embrace all kinds of different people and different ways of thinking. So what gathers us together is not uniform thinking. We're not all Democrats. We're not all Republicans. We don't all agree on all the social issues. What gathers us together is our love for Jesus and our desire to be in mission for the sake of the world. That's what gathers us together.